my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep. Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan.
Alright everyone, it's Chase. Let's take a look at a few of these charts real quick. See what's going on. And the YouTube chat's messed up on the behind the scenes part for whatever reason. Just a heads up, y'all can still put stuff in the chat. I've got it pulled up on my other screen, but just letting y'all know in case there's any delays. And I'm gonna leave the background music. If it like starts to mess with it to where y'all can't actually hear me, just let me know and I'll adjust it accordingly, but that way you don't have to listen to the awkward pauses as I'm going through some of this. But looking at things now, I'm gonna start real quick on Bitcoin because I'm still not stressed on crypto. Sure, you had some of the selling off today with the momentum of everything else, but ultimately a lot of the stuff that's going on with crypto here is the same thing that we've seen multiple times already this month. And it's interesting to see people panic a little bit on crypto when we get these pullbacks. As you can see here, Bitcoin today had that dip, but it's already bounced right at that minor support level. So we're literally still, actually, I mean, from a pure technical standpoint, we've got higher lows forming and have bullish continuation playing out. So it needed to retrace after it completed this first measured move here. So this is still good as of right now. Larger time frame still looks great. I wouldn't be surprised to see more pullback as we move up and kind of retracement back and forth, just because people are taking paper losses on crypto, like I mentioned on some of the other live streams, since there's no wash sale rule with crypto. So take paper losses, you offset capital gains on securities and other things, and then you rebuy the position. So lots of that going on right now. Crypto's still bullish overall though. Ethereum and several others, same things going on with those. Like look, Ethereum literally came down here, bounced off that key support level, and it's looking to bounce. So I mean, these are all fantastic buying opportunities on crypto. Solana I think actually gave us even better opportunity because it got a bit below the previous pennant. Oh, it's back in the pennant already. Wow, okay. The larger time frame pennant. So if I delete this, I mean, we're still bouncing in that same range off that supply zone. I'm sorry, previous supply zone, now demand zone on Solana. So Solana's still looking good as well. We need retracement again as we have things moving. This is also why I warned people about the idea that we were in full-blown alt season, because if you go look at a bunch of altcoins and meme coins right now, they're getting slammed heavily, and that's because we're still having Bitcoin dominance overall. True alt season doesn't kick in until you have money flowing out of Bitcoin into the altcoins, and that is not taking place yet. So as of right now, alt season kind of started to tread. Some of it was just more of a sympathy movement with crypto movement overall that you saw in a lot of the meme coins and altcoins, but true alt season probably won't hit till late Q1, early Q2. So from here, jumping over to a few stocks, the crypto stocks, Matt, are going to look similar to what we've seen. And I think what you'll actually find, which is interesting, like if I jump over to Riot real quick, even with all these big, heavy, scary pullbacks and whatnot on the market and crypto, we're still consolidating in the same zone. So this is what I was talking about. A lot of these miners, yeah, they've got these pullbacks, but we're still in the same bullish setup and range that we have been. So you can expect more continuation on those once we get the next push up and catalyst. Same thing here, Amara's pulling back, but I want to see it, like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I really would love to see it retest that 1948 level. So keeping an eye on those. Coin, probably similar situation. Yeah, so Coin actually filled this gap finally, which is great. Like, that's what I want to see. We're going to mark that as filled real quick and zoom in. So yeah, you've got this big breakout. We moved up, we were in the range, so it did lose that channel it was in, but again, not super stressed. We filled a gap here. I'll be watching this to see what happens, because I think, yeah, we're approaching a back test too of this previous trend we broke out of. The coin will be interesting to see what happens. From there, MicroStrategy, in case you haven't noticed, I'm cranking through the crypto stocks really quick to make it faster to jump over to everything else. Yeah, so same thing here on MicroStrategy. Y'all remember what I said, if we head to that 278, 72 gap fill level, I've got to load the boat on MicroStrategy shares. So deleting some of these trend lines just so it's a bit more visible. Right now we're treading around in that range again. I'm looking at a minor support level right there, just for reference. Curious to see what happens here in the next couple of days. Overall, not super concerned about MicroStrategy because I'm not longing calls or anything like that on it at the moment. Sorry, let me grab the other list too. So yeah, Celsius. Everyone's asking about Celsius, and it's interesting because Celsius here, while it did retrace, it potentially is about to form a higher low, which is very interesting. So we're back in that trend line as of right now, but this will be kind of cool to watch and see how it plays out. So it's either going to bear flag out here and then move lower again and retest that 2550 support, or it's going to catch a bounce if it can get some volume. Interesting, it outperformed quite a few things in the market today when you're actually looking at it. So still watching Celsius here. Might add to some long-term calls if I see confirmation of retaking that 28-26 level. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Lumen is the next one that's on the list. I can type. So Lumen's another one that, if you actually look here on the larger time frame, remember when we looked at this the other day, I was talking about wanting to see it hold after retesting this support range. And it's trying to, as of right now at least. So we'll see whether or not it goes back up here and rejects and drops lower, or if it actually can retake and push out of this current downtrend it is in. That'll be interesting on Lumen. It's also another relatively cheap stock that will be a good one to add some calls to once we get confirmation of breakout to the upside. Also note this volume here, that's something notable. So definitely keep an eye on Lumen. I think on a lot of these stocks, you're getting the initial knee-jerk reaction that's impacting, pretty much everything right now with the Fed decision for next year. That being said, there's a lot of these stocks that still have setups that are potentially going to rip to the upside, which looks quite a bit different than what you're going to see on some of the major indices and tech tickers right now. So if you look at SPY, for instance, SPY is looking like SPY is going to keep breaking down. And like I always say, QQQ and SPY, I don't look at these as driving the markets. While these are sort of a snapshot of the markets as a whole, the top 10 or top weighted contributors for each of these is going to be what's driving the movement of them. So SPY, I think right now is Microsoft, Apple, I'm going blank on what third one is. Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia. Wow, shouldn't be blank on that, huh? But as of right now, SPY is likely, unless it catches the bounce here at this minor support range, it's likely going to head on down and fill this gap at 579.29. So we can bounce there and move up. That's great. We'll build consolidation in the zone and potentially move up higher. But as of right now, it's looking like we're going to hit reversal. So we'll see how things shake out in the coming days and weeks. Still not swinging any kind of stuff on these right now, just because the premiums are a bit wacky. QQQ. I go back and remove some of these minor support and resistance levels because I feel like it's clouding up the visibility here. Again, these are being driven. These are being driven mainly by Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft at the moment. It's not gonna let me grab the yellow. So right now, it looks like QQQ is potentially testing a break of its trend as well. So you might see, it looks like we didn't play out the full flag movement and the inverse head and shoulders movement that we had here. We got some of it, but we didn't get the full percentage basis move. So as of right now, watching it to see how that shakes out. Again, if we get some kind of decent news tomorrow or people stop freaking out, maybe Santa Rally steps in, we retake these support zones and we push higher. But as of right now, we're at risk of breaking down here. A lot of that's coming from this right here. And I finally jumped in and scalped some puts on Nvidia yesterday on that quick rapid move, as well as today, which turned out pretty well overall. I'm not doing any like crazy long swings or anything like that. That's an expensive contract for the same reasons I was not trading calls on the risky movement back and forth, but cheap contracts, scalping them on the intraday movement setup was pretty easy trade overall. And I think they did like 40-something% gains. I need to go back and look where they got locked at, but entered on the rejection, locked gains on the support test. So definitely a good setup. Keep watching what it's doing. If you look at Nvidia here though, like I showed this morning, we broke the first trend, we've now broke the second trend, and we didn't know this yet this morning, but we can see it now that after the retest again, we actually rejected at trend yet again on Nvidia. So definitely want to keep an eye on this, because the measured movement for this trade, or not for this trade, but for this trading range is going to be putting us down there probably at that 119.38 gap fill, but we'll see how that actually plays out. Music's distracting, music is going bye-bye. So you kill the music. There you go. No more music, Prakash. So yeah. Watching this, Nvidia is still in this downtrend here on the shorter time frame as well, so you definitely want to keep an eye on that. One thing also to note, move this out of the way, that volume. So see how we still, with the selling, we still have pretty high volume here. It's not tapering off heavily. Watch out, because that might be more selling stepping in here to come. So just be careful. A lot of the semiconductors are looking a bit wacky, which makes sense. Like I said, the tariffs are in play. Let's see. We looked at Lumen, looked at right, Mora, TBTB. What are y'all talking about? BTBT? I'm assuming y'all are talking about BTBT. So same thing over here on Bit Digital. It broke its shorter term trend, but it looks like it's gonna head down here and test some of the support range it's got going on. So we got some here, some here. I'm not trading puts on these just because if crypto does a random pop, then that's going to be painful. So definitely trade accordingly, right? So y'all got the charts and everything. Y'all got a link to it. And y'all should be able to access it accordingly. You can also, once you actually go to my charts now, you can click over here, go to crypto stocks or whatever, and you should be able to see these. They're all publicly visible, or should be. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's publicly visible. So yeah, y'all can reference these and check out the levels if you need them. Yeah, I'll look at Nike real quick because I know y'all are all watching it in after hours right now. Oh wow, when I looked at Nike a few minutes ago after close, it was up big green. So this is why I don't trade earnings, guys. Jeez. Whenever I looked at Nike, like just right after close, I was like, wow, that's a nice big green move. Maybe somebody was in calls and did okay with that one, but Yeah, this is why I don't trade earnings. So it looks like we got some support in these ranges here. Definitely have support up there. Was just up over 10%. I thought it was up more at one point. Let me look real quick. Yeah, I mean, like 11-12%. I think some of those huge moving earnings moves have thrown off y'all's perspective of what an earnings move should or can be, because 10% is a big ass move when it comes to a stock like this. I know some of the crypto stocks have skewed the perspective when it comes to that. And sorry, we'll rein back on any cursing in case y'all are in the car and have little ones and whatnot. But yeah, like I am. This is why I don't even know what the measured move. I'm curious though, real quick. I need to check what the measured move was on Nike. Let's see. Implied move was 8% for 2 weeks out on Nike. Implied move for the options tomorrow was 7.5%, so like a 580. So $71 to $82 basically. So yeah, what I can tell you right here is this is going to be a fantastic example to look at if it maintains this range tomorrow of what happens when you trade earnings and IV crush takes place. So remind me in the morning, we're going to look at the options for Nike, depending on where it opens, to see. I mean, if it can move far enough to the south here to go below that 71.29 range and take some of the puts in the money that people might have held through earnings, they might come out okay. But anything else in the range is going to get IV crushed, because that implied move was greater than the move that took place. So just another reason why I don't feel so bad about not trading Broadcom earnings with calls like I wanted to do, because crap like that. So earnings are a crapshoot. I'm glad kind of that that's how that's playing out. Not that people are losing money on like that thing trading flat or dropping like that, but we just talked about it this morning with Broadcom and earnings in general, of the risk of trading earnings. So Uber's been steady, just getting smacked. I did see some weird movement on options for Uber earlier today, but I couldn't tell if it was somebody selling calls on the little spike to hedge, or if they were actually, just trying to hedge a position overall. But that's an intraday bear flag on Uber. What's the larger setup looking like? I mean, as of right now, that's at risk of being a larger time frame bear flag too. So I would be careful on Uber, because here, let me. See, I'm gonna do it the most extreme. Actually, no, I'm gonna be more conservative. I'm drawing this rough, and y'all will learn that patterns and such don't have to be exactly perfect every time. So I'm just gonna draw it like that, because that is a bear flag. So definitely keep an eye on that. If that breaks to the downside, and I'm curious because from a technical standpoint, this is something to check. So we see that next support's at $52. What would be the conservative measured move? About 15%. Where would 15% down put us? Very close. So if I was looking for a measured move, I'd be looking for a measured move to the 52 level. So Tony, this is a good example of why hopefully you didn't sell cash secured puts yet on this thing if you were considering it. So yeah, that consolidation's filthy. I'd be careful. Maybe it'll get positive news or something and bounce back. I mean, I'm not actively in a position on it or anything, so just saying be careful, because this thing could either drop further or it could bounce and come out of that, and invalidate that bear flag. But as of right now, that's a valid bear flag. See, what was the next ones on here? Sound. Absolutely, I want to look at Sound, because Sound is one of those, like I was saying, that still looks damn bullish even with all the nonsense going on the last couple of days. So look at Sound. It did this pullback retracement, and it's holding that support strong right now. So that is an intraday bear flag on sound as well, just keeping it real and looking at both perspectives. But difference is Uber was over here in a major downtrend and dropping, whereas sound is very much still in this long-term bullish movement and might hold this level and get bullish continuation. So I actually almost bought sound calls earlier today, but I made myself wait. So if this thing gaps up like 10% again tomorrow, I'm gonna be a little sad. But yeah, sound's being all kinds of wacky and crazy right now. Same thing with SoFi and some of the others. They're trying to hold the consolidation and the range. So still, same thing on SoFi. While you've got all these red candles, I'd be watching it. I'm not actively entering a new position on SoFi yet because I don't love that we still have big volume here, but that volume is tapering off with that second day. So I'm curious to see if it can hold this range and then move up to continue that, or if it loses it. So definitely watching some of those. Tiger. I noticed a lot of weird movement with China stocks this morning on the options flows. Just a heads up for everyone. So I don't know if there's expectation that we get bullish movement on China stocks or what as a result of all the other crap that's going on. But you can see Tiger already completed that first measured move. If it can consolidate here and push higher, then it's probably going to head to 919. I might enter more swing calls on Tiger, honestly. I try to take it easy with China-based stocks just because there's no telling if there's going to be some kind of random comments or global tensions that impact it, but we've made some good gains on Tiger. I mean, Lucid actually started to make some bullish movement this morning and was holding itself strong, so when I start to see this stuff, like honestly, Lucid's looking like it makes me want to add longer calls again. So it's still looking pretty nice from a long-term setup. Again, this one's got low overall circulating, I shouldn't say circulating supply, sorry, my crypto brain almost kicked in, but this one's got low kind of shares out in the open because the PIF owns most of them. Saudi Public Investment Fund, for those that aren't familiar with what the PIF is. Lucid, so Intel's another one. There was some weird call options earlier today, and I couldn't tell if it was somebody selling them short term for the yeah, that's what it probably was. They sold them short term right there, and they'll probably rebuy them if they didn't already. I'll have to go look, but it looks like Intel's trying to hold that support in that range. Like I've said lately on Intel, I think until we get the news of an updated CEO coming in that'll serve maybe as a bullish catalyst, until then Intel is still kind of just doing this drop thing. So that's actually yet another bear flag, it looks like, playing down on that. So keep an eye on it. Don't do anything crazy and go too heavy or anything on Intel. What is next? Let's see, we did Lucid, we did Intel, did Celsius. Let me pull the list up. We looked up Nvidia. Ooh, GameStop. Yeah, GameStop. So scalp some more calls on GameStop today, which is proving just to be so much fun. And I love the options flows because it's like somebody always knows the pop's coming. They buy calls and you can see the flood over on the flows. Bought them here and it ripped. And those GameStop calls ripped with them. So I sold them and took the profit as soon as I saw kind of the hesitation there. But something's up on GameStop. Plus, you've got this nice bullish setup on the larger time frame with GameStop where we got the breakout of the bullish pennant and it back tested here. So we'll see if we get buyer step in for bullish continuation and moving to the upside. But yeah, GameStop's looking pretty decent there. AI took a bit of a nosedive, but it's impressive what it's trying to do again. So look, check this out. While it did dive today, notice how it's holding that support range yet again. So overall, AI is another example of something that, even though it had that pullback, the larger time frame bullish setup is still intact on it. So I'd be more concerned if we lose the bull flag and invalidate here. As of right now, I'm kind of watching it because I don't love the increasing volume here with the drop. But I will be looking to see if the buying volume steps up and if the selling volume dissipates some as it comes off this level. Would have been a nice little scalp trade. I actually looked at it earlier today and debated it whenever it was down here and tapped that support level, but that little $2 movement would have been a huge gain on some of the calls. Let's see, what else is here on the list? We'll look at Lumen. BBAI. So BBAI is looking like it wants to test. In case y'all didn't notice, all the movement with NVIDIA is having a little bit of an impact on AI related stocks. So we'll see if NVIDIA catches a bounce or something. A lot of these AI stocks will probably get bounced back. Check over here real quick. But watching Big Bear AI, see what happens there. Chewy had some odd movement earlier today too. And it actually tried to hold support. So, very interesting there. Looks like it tried to push and take that resistance slash support again. So it actually had increasing volume, it looks like. Ooh. Chewy might be going for another breakout, guys. Definitely want to keep an eye on. If you move this right here, based off that current trend, that's actually a back test and a bounce. So I might, if I see it take that, it really closed right at 32.50 again. It sure did. Wow, I almost bought more Chewy calls earlier today. I'm kind of sad I didn't now. Right over in here when I saw it test. I'm gonna watch Chewy tomorrow. If it gets some big bullish movement or something, I might jump in because it might get a breakout. Let's see, what's some other stuff that we've been watching? So SMH for semiconductors, like we looked at this morning. Let's look at what happened today as follow-up. It broke the trend and committed to it. If it loses 238.57, it's going to get rough on semiconductors. So just keep an eye on that. Not only did it break trend, it's got some nice big heavy selling volume with it. So definitely keep an eye on that. See if it can hold that or if it's going to break it. Microsoft. Let's see, we got that support range is trying to hold at this point. Interesting. If it can hold here, it might can hold that bull flag it's got going on, but if it breaks down, just watch out, because when Microsoft breaks off this level, it tends to break hard. Like 428 comes fast, but you can see even here with earnings, like the gap down. Same thing over here. Once we dropped off that 440 level and it rejected again, it committed pretty hard and hit 428 within a day, and then literally was already sub 420 following that. So just keep an eye on Microsoft. Definitely want to be careful on that. I'm not actively swinging calls or puts on this kind of setup just because the risk to reward's not worth it. So keeping tabs on that. AMD real quick. So we check that out this morning. Yeah, guys, the more I look at these, the more I'm seeing what we were talking about this morning that was kind of concerning, where people were like, buy the dip, and in reality, a lot of these, the dip's going to keep on dipping. I mean, look, AMD blew, wow, I really wish I would have bought this 120 puts now. AMD broke the support and dove, so AMD's probably going to be tapping that 116.57 level we looked at this morning. It completed that first measured move of the bear flag that we looked at this morning again, so we will see what happens with AMD. This downtrend it's in, I mean, if it was to respect trend, we could see 94, 96 on AMD. So, like, I'm trying to also convey that all these drops on big tech tickers aren't something to be freaked out and scared of. I mean, unless you're, like, stuck in some calls, which I really hope everyone's not, because there's been so many signs to not pursue calls on a lot of these lately. But there's going to be lots of opportunities in the coming months to potentially buy longer term positions. And I'm not by any means telling people to buy the dip now on calls or shares, because that's probably going to be catching a falling knife, honestly. But we'll see if a Santa rally comes in. What my suspicion is right now, based off of what I'm seeing on the underlying flows, as well as kind of keeping in mind what's going on in a macro level, is that if a Santa rally does come into play next week, it's probably going to impact more of those mid-cap and semi-large cap tickers that we looked at earlier on this stream. Like Sound, SoFi, that kind of realm, you'll probably see some bullish movement. I think on a lot of the big tech stocks, we're getting major rotation already. So, I mean, maybe we get some bullish movement with some of these that comes off the sympathy movement of things, but I think overall, you're going to see money flowing out of big tech. People have already started de-risking. You're seeing profit taking for tax purposes, so definitely want to be careful into the end of the year on some of these. Palantir is another one we have not looked at yet, but we need to. I saw some more call flows that looked very interesting on Palantir earlier today. and it now makes total sense. Palantir is another example of something that is maintaining its bullish setup on the larger time frame despite the slight temporary pullback. So if I actually was to mark this for you, just green because it's a bullish pennant going on. Alright, y'all can see that. So Palantir's got another bullish pennant going on here. If this pennant does break to the downside, treat it as bearish pennant at that point rather than this bull flag bullish pennant we've got. If it does break to the downside, you're looking probably at a test of 65 to 62.49. If not, we're going to rip and break out and probably complete that measured move. So definitely keep an eye there. I still am long on my shares. I have not sold covered calls on it yet because I have not seen signs of an actual confirmed reversal. So as of right now, definitely riding Palantir out. I mean, hell, look, even on the weekly, this thing is trying to hold up and push. If the weekly, if we do close lower than here, that might be sign that we are going to reverse. I may wait for confirmation even at that point, honestly, because even with that setup that normally would be treated as bearish, I think waiting for confirmation makes sense here simply because look how many times it did in the past. Especially with AI hype and quantum hype and cybersecurity hype, Palantir is going to keep being a bullish stock into 2025 with ties to the administration and everything. Gotta look over here at Oxy real quick. Analyzer mentioned Oxy. Oxy's taking a hit. I haven't traded Oxy in a long time, since like back in Q2, Q3. Oxy though, 52-week low. Yeah, it looks like it might try to catch this previous supply zone as a demand zone. Maybe not though. I'm gonna leave that there just as reference. Oxy may keep on diving. I don't know. It'll be interesting when Trump takes office in oil and gas industry and see how that all works, because we all know he's probably going to open the pipeline back up. So, getting the beats. What are you talking about? Getting the beats, Analyzer. Let's see. Lily and LMT. Man, Prakash, I'm not touching Lily. That thing already hurt my feelings this week and reminded me of why I don't trade that crap. Because it's too expensive on the premiums to mess with it. Oh, I got you, Analyzer. So yeah, it actually filled this gap today, it looks like. Yep, it sure did. So I'm going to mark that as filled now. It may bounce there. But again, I'm not trading that crap. Like, the premiums are too expensive. Theta decay is too high. Volatility is out of whack. Like, I'm not going to trade it. It's in that downtrend still, so yeah, I mean, that's the levels you can watch on Prakash if you want to. LMT is interesting because Lockheed sort of has this kind of stuff going on with the drops and everything ever since they got that contract pulled, because Trump said he was going to terminate that $1 million contract. So it is heading back into this previous supply zone that will likely become a demand zone. So we'll see what happens in that range. I think I exited all of my long positions like way long ago on LMT. I'd have to look, but in my other accounts, not my active trading accounts. But yeah, Lockheed Martin can drop more. We'll see what happens. Let's see. MU. Are y'all sure y'all want me to look at MU? Because I don't know if Joe's watching or not, but Joe left the Discord over MU hurting his feelings. Which is why I highly recommend people do not trade earnings, and that's why I did not trade MU into earnings, because the risk to reward is just not freaking worth it. So, I mean, look at the massive gap down on MU here. That is a huge bear flag on MU, so that I marked that this morning when we were looking at it. It's trying really hard, it looks like, to hold this level. Normally, following earnings like this, they keep things relatively flat after the initial move, because now premiums will get wrecked, especially those that expire this week and next week. I mean, if someone really wants to trade this, they can, but there's a lot of other tickers you can trade without the exposure and risk. And I understand that these options have been IV crushed now, but that's not a guarantee that they're going to be, improving overall from here. So, yeah, MUs, look how flat the chart is this all day long, super flat. So they burned up premiums on MU today. What's a weekly look like? That is hideous. Like from a bear flag standpoint, and like I know that people kind of knocked me watching SMCI like that, but it was valid all the way since the all-time highs, right? So like bear flag breakdown, bear flag breakdown, bear flag breakdown. So it did catch that bounce over in this range off of those gap fill levels. I thought I marked that already. I guess I didn't. But once it filled that gap finally, which was the complete final measured move I had, I'll go ahead and mark that out. I mean, you can see it caught a retracement bounce there with the news that they weren't getting delisted. That being said, delisting or not, stock is still taking a slam at this point. So hopefully those people that had like those huge gains, because it did like a massive move up somewhere in there. I can't remember what day it was. It got a nice big pop with all the hype. I think it was right here where it moved up heavy. I mean, like, yeah, I would have been locking gains if I was in calls as soon as it tapped that resistance range, because you can see right here, once it lost that gap fill, like, look, that's a good example of a gap fill completion and rejection. So, completed that gap fill in the daily, rejected hard. Yeah, like, and again, I'm not trading calls or puts on SMCI in a setup in a range like this. Like, the risk to reward is not worth it for me. I'm very happy for all of the people that made gains on calls with that bounce back, but no, like I'm good. Like, there's plenty of other things I'll trade in the meantime instead. But I mean, if this is your cup of tea, go for it. Where's the list? PACB. Biosciences at California. James, I have got a more hate relationship with bioscience stocks, man. Like, cause it's like they either rip and roar or they just bomb. So, in this one's case, it looks like it's traded hella flat. I mean, I can map the technicals on it, but this one's pretty straightforward. Like, you've got resistance there. You got support there, right? And you can see that channel. I mean, from an option standpoint, that's not a stock I'd probably be trading options on personally, because it's too flat, and like the premiums probably aren't worth it if they're even a thing. Like, and this is why you want to be careful in a stock like this. You don't just want to look purely at this and be like, oh, it broke out of the downtrend. It didn't really, especially if you do it like that. And this is why I do my lines on the most conservative measures possible. It probably rejects at that trend, honestly, but I mean, that's more of a bear flag than anything at this point, and I'm curious. Yeah, that's a bear flag on the weekly, but it doesn't really have that much more room down it can drop, right? So again, don't know much about this. I do know that bioscience stocks are like hit or miss completely and totally. So like, I tend to steer clear of them. The only one I'm even messing with right now is Viking Therapeutics. And even then, I mean, this is why, right? Like, it's holding the support, which is the support I wanted to see it hold today. Oh, it actually bounced nicely off the support. Cool. That being said, I totally entered a very small position on it, because these biotech stocks are like, either we're going to rip like this big gap up here, these big moves here, or I'm going to drop fast and we'll see what happens in the range, right? So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Just don't want to cause misunderstanding. But yeah, I prefer to trade tech, which I'm kind of biased, I guess, to some extent, because I literally work in the software industry for a company as a consulting manager. So Moderna for you, Analyzer. It's another one of those ones I have a love-hate relationship with. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think COVID caused these kinds of stocks to do some unnecessary craziness, and ever since then, you're never going to see those levels on these again. Same thing with Pfizer. I mean, look, Pfizer's over here just steady dropping. So I guess people can. Unfortunately, I think what people do on these stocks nowadays is similar to what we saw a lot of people do in 2020 and 2021, where they're like, "Yeah, but monkeypox is an epidemic in California," and like, that's cool. That's not a trading strategy. So like, I personally don't make trades based off that kind of stuff. And honestly, Pfizer burned me back at the end of 2021, early 2022. I'm not trading that crap anymore. I learned my lesson. I want nothing to do with Pfizer, which honestly was a stupid decision on my part the way I was trading it anyways. I was trading way too heavy on something way too short dated, so that's more my fault than Pfizer's fault, I guess. But Tesla is the one we didn't look at. Sorry, that's over on this other list. Central Buzz, or Control Buzz, sorry, I should know that. If you look back, I didn't even realize I hit Pfizer for you, Chapito. I just happened to go there. But Control Buzz, if you go back just a couple of minutes on the stream, I went through MU in depth. So you can jump back a little bit and see that one. So real quick, Tesla. So remember what I said on Tesla. I want to see if it can hold the previous all-time high specifically. Sorry, my lines are bit shoved together here. Dude, man. It completed that measured move perfectly and it rejected hard off of it. So I want to see if it can hold that 414.50 level. Damn, it got close to breaking it earlier today though. Again, I'm not in any calls or puts on Tesla right now. I'm in my shares. I've been waiting to sell more covered calls until I evaluate and see what happens here. Keep in mind 420, Elon, y'all know how it is. If it loses 420 on the weekly, it's gonna get rough. And I will sell covered calls, even though it's not an ideal place to sell covered calls because I'm not at a key resistance level, but to hedge my shares because I'm not gonna sell my shares right now. I'm gonna keep on selling covered calls like I've been doing for years. So yeah, if we lose that on the weekly, if we end up reversing here, Tesla could get a little rocky. And don't be surprised if we come off of that level like we did in 2021. And keep in mind how rapid and volatile the movement was. I mean, that's $50 swings back and forth, right? But once Tesla starts to get panic selling, because some of these people have been holding their freaking shares that they bought all through this time range, and then some of them were hella negative for a period of time, right? Don't be surprised if once we break that range and we see selling in that range, that people start capitulation kicks in, right? So just something to keep in mind. Again, still long-term bullish on Tesla, Elon overall, but just something to keep in mind as we come back to that range. Yes, I will look at Grab. Then I probably need to go here in just a minute after we do a couple more. Chapito is Analyzer, aka Matt 2. Nah, you get to be Matt 1. He can be Matt 2. 007 Matt gets to be... No, he can be Matt 7. You be Matt number 1, Chapito. Sorry, if y'all are just listening and don't know what the heck I'm talking about, I'm not losing my mind. Although I may be. More so I'm looking at the chat for the YouTube stream as well as in 2 Discords. So, Grab, still same thing. Stevie, I'm glad brought this one up. I almost bought calls on Grab this morning, but I saw kind of just flat movement over in the screener that I had for call options on unusual whales, and I decided to hold off at least one day to see if it can retake that support range. I'm glad I did because I mean it would have been fine longer term calls probably, but also I would just sat in calls that just kind of got decayed all day, which they wouldn't have got hit big because I was going to go like June calls, but yeah, monkeypox messing with my brain. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. No, honestly, it's probably the lack of food and coffee because I had meetings through lunch today. But yeah, Grab is one that I'm definitely got on my list for a longer term call trade. I think that the setup will be solid if it can hold that range. So I'm glad Stevie brought that one up. Analyzer said, "But Chase, the monkeypox, we could get rich, buddy." Not kidding, but I'm also not gonna assume that, like, hope the demise and the COVID happens again, so that like I can make bank on some puts. Because honestly, I do enjoy trading calls on stuff more than I do puts. Like my inner nature is very much bullish, which I'll probably have seen come out quite a bit through crypto and some other things the last few weeks. But I'm just more cautious and try to be unbiased about a lot of the things I trade nowadays, and that's why I haven't traded a lot of big tech tickers with swings right now. Not that gains couldn't be had there, but there was a lot of better risk to reward on some other things, which y'all seen the gains from that stuff. So yeah, I mess with spreads some analyzer. Sometimes it's just typically I'm doing that more so probably for my long-term portfolios, not so much for active trading. So one of the things I want to do for 2025 is alert more things that are more long-term passive investment strategies. So I'll be alerting more shares, which, did y'all see freaking Invis after we got in those shares last week? I mean, I knew the setup was there, but look at this crap. This morning when Invis opened, which it sold off pretty fast, but yeah, we bought shares last week on the 11th. What was the 11th? 11th, 12th. We bought shares right here. This sucker freaking ripped today, so it was awesome. 30% gains on shares. I'll take that any day of the week. This is also, like I mentioned this morning on the video, y'all can go back and watch that if you want. It's published out there on YouTube, but this is an actual legit short squeeze candidate. If it gets increasing volume to push it, so definitely one to keep an eye on. They do LiDAR, like radar things for automobiles, so got that going on there. Let's see, what else we got? AMD control buzz. Yes, I did. It's probably 15-20 minutes back if I had to guess, but I think you can listen to this thing sped up if you want to go see AMD. So, any other stocks? Man, I gotta look at crypto real quick because I've got some funds sitting over here on the side that want to go to crypto because they need to get off of this one Robinhood account and I need them out. So, what crypto makes sense to buy? And if you're new to what I do with that, I take gains from trading stock options and shares and I throw them into crypto, and it works as a way to get the funds off. That measure move already completed, by the way. To get the funds off of the exchange without going back to a bank account. Plus, I can then use those to take paper losses on crypto. Ta-da! Not a tax advisor or any crap like that, or a financial advisor. You do what you want related to that, but there's some good links out there on Coinly. Moorhead said he's done being dramatic about his days. Well, buddy, if you'd stop trading all the Solana meme coins, like shit fart can coin, or whatever it is you're trading today, you probably wouldn't be so stressed about it. Sorry, Matic, you can see perfect pullback and retest here. So Matic is actually looking great for more continuation into next year. Let me open this real quick so I can show y'all where some of these stand on the day. So, like, look, quite a few of these Doge is actually down quite a bit today. I might pick up some Doge in one of my more active trading accounts because it lost its bullish pennant, but it's still technically in a bull flag. So I'm gonna delete this. Just don't want to give false hope. But as long as this thing holds above 28 cents, Doge is probably gonna snap back. Keep in mind, Elon literally has a position with Trump called Doge, so I don't think Doge is going to be slacking in 2025. Might be a good buy the dip opportunity on Doge. Let's see which other ones are beat down today. We got, I'm not touching ADA. That's one I can't get behind the project and kind of who's involved with it. So it looks like Pepe, which again, not touching that crap. For those that aren't aware, Pepe is on the Ethereum blockchain. What else we got here? So Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's catching that 96K bounce viciously. I'm loving that. I kind of want to look. I'm gonna look at what my crypto port is. I'm not pulling it up on the YouTube because I don't know who else is watching this thing. Those of you that are following me elsewhere know what's in there. So Hey, so hey, the crypto port's actually up 50K since I shared it earlier. So it's actually bouncing back solid. So this is why I don't stress about crypto. 2018, 2019 kind of made me callous to it, honestly. H bar, you were asking about. I thought I had it on my short list. Maybe not. Change that I click. If y'all are wondering why am I using why am I using Tether, which is USDT, instead of USD on some of these? I'm talking to you on your website, Russell Brewer. Hey Russell. Are you sure you're talking to me on my website, or are you talking about it on the YouTube chat? So if you're on the YouTube chat, okay. I don't see you chatting though over in the lounge, any of the Discords I'm in. So not sure if you're talking to me or if you're talking to a fake ethical trader, which is something I would warn all of y'all if y'all get a random message from someone that has an account that looks like mine on Discord. It ain't me. Make sure you check my date that I joined Discord and stuff, which should, if you're seeing it, you should see. I don't even see my own damn date. That's a problem. Oh, here we go. 2020, July 10th, 2020. Would be my Discord date. So if it's not that, if it's an account since then, it's a fake account. But why do I use USDT? That's because majority of the movement you're seeing on crypto and the volume is on Tether. It's not on US dollars, regardless of what people may think. HBAR still has a nice bull flag going on there. Morehead, so definitely a good one. It's also part of the ISO that might get passed next year. So, I might actually pick up some HBAR. I think it's one of the few I'm not holding a lot in my long-term holdings right now. So, right now, I mean, honestly, like right now in this pullback with crypto, especially since altcoins are getting hammered, it's a fantastic time to get into like a lot of the altcoins that are in play and the primary coins for those altcoins. So like Chainlink, that's a freaking awesome entry for a long. And keep in mind when I'm saying this, I'm not talking about buying it and selling it like tomorrow, which honestly some of these may have huge bounce backs in the next couple of days, so there might be gains that way too, but I'm looking more for longer term holds, 2025 and beyond. Most of y'all already know I'm not selling my crypto in my cold storage wallets even this bull run. I may reevaluate that if Bitcoin magically goes like 500 grand or something in 2025, but as of right now, I'm sitting on it. I like my 1,486% gain on Bitcoin, so I'll keep sitting on that and riding it out. XRP, that's another one that I'm staying in it long. I still hold my position on it. I still like the bullish setup here. I'm hesitant because the project itself, but I might add to XRP here, honestly. Actually, I can't do it. I can't add to XRP here. Not with those wallets looking the way they do right now, so I'll keep watching XRP and see what happens, but I'll stay in my current XRP. I'm still up almost 1,300% on that, so I'm not going to exit any of that. I'll just keep riding it out and see what happens. Stellar Lumen was another one that was looking good though, and Stellar Lumen's really good if you're wanting to send money or crypto. Oh, wrong one. If you're wanting to send crypto from exchange to exchange, XLM is, wow, I cannot talk, guys. Or top. Stellar Lumen's a fantastic way to do it. Low fees, fast transactions. It looks like it's trying to hold that same support range there. So, yeah, I might pick up some Stellar Lumen. I need to clean up all this where we were trading on the smaller time frame though, because it completed all those measured moves that I was trading while my wife was running the marathon. So, yeah, Stellar Lumen's looking good. I might go ahead and buy that because I can use that to transfer off of Robinhood. Let's see what else we got. Stellar Lumen, XRP. We looked at Ethereum earlier. Avalanche is another one that you want to keep an eye on. So it looks like it's going to try to catch that support level. I mean, when people say technicals don't apply to crypto, I call BS. Look how perfect that support is being held there. So like I've traded crypto since 2017. Like, and technicals apply to crypto just fine, just like they do for stocks. So definitely lots of good opportunities right now. Atom is another really good one ahead of alt season in Q1, Q2. I mean, right now, just keep in mind how all of y'all felt on crypto back in September, October, right? Like you're feeling a lot like you are right now, where we had been pulling back all year, and then all October and November, everybody was like, "Man, I really wish I would have bought the dip." Here's your opportunity for long-term dips on crypto because you know it's gonna rip next year. So definitely good opportunities in play right now, especially while people are still taking tax loss harvesting. But yeah, we're gonna keep bouncing. Man, once Bitcoin dominance eases up some, like if I look here, once Bitcoin dominance eases up, yeah, alt season my ass. Like this is why alt season was not in play, and you can't sit there and think on short-term time frames like that. Like Bitcoin dominance is absolutely still in play. So, and it will be until we probably go well up into the 60% plus range for extended periods of time. So you can see right here, Bitcoin dominance is still rolling. But what I was going to say is alt season's not in full swing until Bitcoin dominance does this crap right here. Just like it did in February, March 2021. And I'm not saying February, March 2025. The halving cycle is slightly different this go round. But once you have this money flow dumping out of Bitcoin and going into the altcoins, because remember all the meme frenzy in the summer of 2021, that's when alt season kicks in. So right now is a great time to accumulate altcoins. I mean, let's look at that real quick and then I gotta wrap up. But so like what, March 2021 for Bitcoin dominance shifting off. Let's look at Ethereum. Perfect example. Okay, so when Bitcoin dominance tanked in March 2021, right? Right here, March 2021. Notice a huge influx and pump right there on Ethereum. That is an example of alt season when you have Bitcoin dominance tanking and then the alt presence rises. So that is a good example. Doge is tied to Bitcoin because it's on the Bitcoin blockchain, but even then, same thing. Which some of that's tied back with Elon and Saturday Night Live. But even then, in March, February, March, right there, big rip. Saturday Night Live didn't happen till over here. That right there was when alt season kicked into play. So, like, you want to talk about rags to riches type movement? Alt season 2025 is going to be the opportunity in crypto for a lot of people to do that. I'm excited and trying to plan for that accordingly by, preparing by getting into several projects that have huge growth potential into next year. But lots of opportunity right now. Today's a good day while things are down to jump in and buy things up. FA probably will get its pop on. ERP is another good one that I think has got visibility lately. So lots of good buying opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this one. I don't know if I'll be able to do a session in the morning or not. I can't recall if I've got certain meetings in the morning, but if I do not have meetings early, then I might jump on a live stream. But tomorrow is Friday. That means some 0 day to expiration lotto trades is what we got to trade, at least with a tiny portion of accounts. So everybody have a good night. Have fun. Be safe. Get you some crypto. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.